The journey of self discovery for me is I love I love learning new things about myself and learning what other people are learning about themselves and seeing the ways that we can all learn from each other and grow and share our experiences with one another. Yeah. My name is Xixi Wang. In Chinese, it's Wang Xixi. I'm a tattoo artist, graphic designer, and climbing enthusiast, I guess I would say. I've always been an artist. I have been drawing ever since I could hold a pencil. I started painting when I was around 14, 15 years old and always dreamt of learning how to tattoo. I watched New York Inc. as a middle schooler. I would just stay in the locker room of our school and just pull out my phone and watch New York Inc. And so I was obsessed and knew immediately that I wanted to eventually. I didn't know that I wanted to be a tattoo artist, but I knew that I at least wanted to learn the art form. I think it's such a meaningful and intimate and raw experience of someone choosing to sit down in front of you and to essentially give you all of their trust in creating this beautiful thing for their body that is going to last forever. I think that's such a cool concept. I think my journey with climbing has overall allowed me to reclaim my relationship with my body image. I grew up doing mostly dance as a kid and as a teenager as well, and that obviously, specifically ballet, so that created a lot of body image trauma and just things to work through as an adult. And so also growing up in a pretty conservative Asian household that my parents expected me to look a certain way or made comments if I was gaining weight or if I was eating too much. Just that affected me a lot as a kid. So I also didn't have a really great relationship with going to the gym, working out. It was always I'm doing this because I want to lose weight, or I'm also I hated lifting weights and going to the gym. And so I also always associated going to the gym with negative emotions and thoughts. And so that's why it was so important to me that climbing has been the first sport that I've taken on as an adult and got to learn from scratch. I think for me, personally, as someone who also gets tattoos, I've been, in the past couple of years, also myself getting more tattoos that kind of are more explorations and me reconnecting with my Asian identity. I grew up in a predominantly white area, and so wanted to fit in and wanted to be more white, whatever that means. And so it wasn't until recently when I was a lot older and in college that I started to feel more proud of my cultural identity and being Asian. I think as artists, the biggest thing that we can do for our community is just to be authentic and ourselves. And that's something throughout my entire life, that I've really, really prioritized in all of my work, especially as a queer and Asian artist. I want to make sure that I'm true to myself and I'm creating work that I'm inspired by, that I am really passionate by, and trust that people who are passionate about the same things will naturally find their way to me. And that's how you create a real genuine connection with someone. And so again, that's why for me tattooing is so much more than just needle to skin. I think a huge reason why I was so obsessed with it because at the beginning was because it was actually really beneficial for my mental health to just go to the gym, kind of you know, maybe have headphone, like, earbuds in and just focus on this one problem in front of you. And, you know, if I wasn't getting it, it was, like, my project for the week or whatever. And just to, like, have that as a thing to, like, look forward to almost, was kind of nice. I'm a perfectionist, I'll say it. And also, I don't like to fail. That's just, like, the Asian child of immigrants in me. Like, failure is not an option. So literally when it came to climbing, I noticed myself, like, if I didn't send a project, or if, you know, if I didn't send a project, if I wasn't, like, increasing my grade level, I would consider that as, like, a bad session. Just because I'm not moving quickly from, like, a V3 to a V5 or whatever doesn't mean that I'm not gaining anything out of this. I try to remember, especially now that I've been doing this sport for a little bit over 2 years, like, I want to make sure that I'm having fun. That's, like, the biggest priority out of everything. If I'm no longer having fun, then we get out of there. Like, if it's no longer serving you, cut it. I think a huge part of it is because I'm an artist. New York City is, like, the hub for artists. Galleries, museums, tattooing. I think you don't have the same tattooing world as anywhere else in the US. I think just New York City, there's so many shops now that are thriving everywhere in Brooklyn, Manhattan, and Queens. Like, the tattooing world is, like, just so unique here, and also community-wise as well. I feel really grateful for the people that I've met in the tattooing world, in the tattooing community. I feel really grateful for my clients who trust me literally trusting me with their body, and to create something unique for them and special that they get to keep forever. And I know I mentioned this before, but, like, that's a privilege that I carry and hold with a lot of care, and I don't take that lightly. Truly, at the forefront of my mind is always community building and community connection and community care, whatever that means to you. And that's the main thing that motivates me as an artist, as a climber, even just, like, as a human being in this world, is just connect with people, connect with you guys. Yeah. I learned very quickly that climbing is a very, like, gay thing, which I did not know at all when I first started climbing. And so it makes me, in a way, like, feel more part of the queer community. Me saying that in a tattoo shop is crazy.